Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. My name is Dan W. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. Today is the final review in this Man-Thing Build-A-Figure wave. So obviously in front of me, we have all the pieces you need to complete your Man-Thing Build-A-Figure. Now, you got these pieces from buying all of the figures in this Marvel Knight / Netflix wave, which included Daredevil, Punisher, Elektra, Jessica Jones, Blade, and Bullseye. Each figure comes with a different piece. Once you've brought all the figures in the wave, you have enough to build your Man-Thing. So without further ado, let's put him together. Pow! So there he is, complete. Very simple to put together. Obviously only 6 pieces: legs, arms, head, body. Easy to put together, so I don't need to explain that. And yeah, first impressions are, I really like it. Had to do a bit of research on the Man-Thing Build-A-Figure, as I didn't really know much about the character, but I'll get into that in a minute. But now I know a little bit more about the character, I appreciate the character design. I think it's very accurate to portrayals in the comics. It's all a brand new mold as well. All of the detail is in there. They've even attempted to do some paint work as well, which I always appreciate. So yeah, let's have a zoom in and appreciate those details they've added, shall we? So here's a closer look at the Man-Thing Build-A-Figure. Now, it is a very unique character design, and I think Hasbro gave it a much needed update, as we have had a previous Toy Biz version. So this is a modernized sort of Man-Thing, and I quite like it. If you do know anything about the character, then you know this is a unique look, and this is all a brand new sculpt, and there are details all the way around the figure, even on the back, and he's made of like swamp life after a man downed some chemicals, but I'll explain that in a minute when I get into the Who Is He segment. I just wanted to quickly zoom in and show you the character. The details all the way down, sculpted on the leg, even down to his pointy toenails and his claws. Articulation's good as well, to be fair. Very good waist joint, so you can get him into some creepy poses where he's standing over people. But yeah, a lot of people think this character's a bad guy, but he's not. He's a good guy. He's just a scientist that things happened, and yeah, he's not actually a bad guy at all. He was actually in the Defenders at one point as well. So yeah, do some research and you'll find out for yourself. A lot of people also compare him to Swamp Thing from DC Comics, but Man-Thing actually debuted before Swamp Thing did. I think it was only by a couple of months, so I think Marvel beat DC in regards to the publishing of a character like this, but who knows behind the scenes who came up with this type of character first, because DC's Swamp Thing and Marvel's Man-Thing are very similar, but let's pretend like they ain't. So yeah, this would be a perfect time to get into the subject of Man-Thing. Who is he? So this is the part of the video where we ask the question, who is he? And I try and give you a little bit of information on the character that this figure is inspired by. So, Man-Thing. Who is he? Well, Man-Thing first appeared in Savage Tales #1 in May of 1971, and throughout the years his origin has slowly been pieced together. His real name is Ted Sallis, who was a chemist who was tricked into working for AIM when they were trying to recreate the super soldier serum. Ted attempted to escape and ran into a swamp but was shot, so while drowning he drank his own serum, which mixed with the chemicals in the swamp and turned him into the Man-Thing that we see today. With super strength and the ability to regenerate bodies, he looks super scary, but Man-Thing isn't actually a villain. He's been trying to do good in the Marvel Universe for years. There you go, so I hope that helped. Again, I do not claim to be an expert, but it is nice to have a little bit of information about the characters that these figures are inspired by. Now, for my first comparison, here is Man-Thing compared to the Abomination Build-A-Figure. So these stand at about the same height, and they're on similar body molds, but obviously they're completely different in regards to sculpting. But if you do have your Abomination, which has been out for a while now, he is standing at about the same height. Both very green as well, might I add. And let's add someone else who's got a hint of green into the mix. Here is the recent Sandman Build-A-Figure with his actual Sandman arms on. Oh, his hands fell off. For another comparison in regards to size. So Man-Thing does stand taller than Sandman, as you can see. A bit more menacing. His arms and legs are a lot thicker than Sandman. So yeah, there's another comparison. Whoops, I dropped something. And then for a last comparison, let's compare him to the last Build-A-Figure that I reviewed in this Hulk Gladiator figure. Now, Hulk, without his hat, is shorter than Man-Thing, and obviously you can't even see on the camera as he's holding his axe, not his axe, his hammer really high. But yeah, Man-Thing does actually stand taller than the Hulk, but Hulk's got his hat on. So Hulk's helmet makes him a tiny bit taller. But yeah, if you've managed to get your hands on the Gladiator Hulk, then these two stand at about the same size, which he looks bigger in person than he does in pictures, to be honest. So yeah, let's get Man-Thing compared to the rest of the figures in this wave. So here you go, here's the Man-Thing compared to all of the other figures that come in this wave, including Elektra, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Punisher, Bullseye and Blade. Overall, it's a solid wave. Like, I still can't believe we've got Netflix figures. I hope we get more, so please buy and support these figures. These look great. And again, 2 comic book characters that we've definitely needed updates in. And Man-Thing was a nice surprise. I wasn't too sure if I was going to like this figure, if I was going to want to keep this figure. But now I've got him and I've done some research on the character. I'm like, yeah, why not? Let's keep Man-Thing. He's cool. So yeah, it's very hard to rank these figures. So I'm not going to, because I genuinely like them all. They all have positives. Very hard to find negatives in this wave. But please let me know in the comments which are your favourite figures in this wave. But I would recommend, as a Marvel Legends collector, get them all. Get them all, they look great on the shelf. These guys fit seamlessly into the MCU section of the shelf. And again, these 2 great comic characters that we needed. I'll find a place for Man-Thing, don't you worry. But yeah, overall people, solid wave, very happy. So yeah, go and get them. Go and get them. Happy hunting. But until then, people, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have reviewed all of these figures, so there's a playlist on the channel. A collection video from myself is coming, as I've hit 1,000 subscribers now. So thank you very much to everyone who's hit subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell, as when I do my collection video, the first couple of comments are going to win some prizes. So make sure you hit that notification bell, as when the collection video comes, there could be prizes to be won. And I'm going to hide some Easter eggs in my collection as well to try and make the video a bit more fun. But as I said, hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, and I shall see you on the next one.